Hey, we're going to talk about this piece, Wood's Bolero, for Mark Wood, of course, written by Mark Wood. So for those of you that have got a performance coming up with this piece, I'm going to try to do a little tutorial for you guys and do a play along. I'll do two speeds. I'll do a medium and then a fast version. I don't know, maybe I'll throw in a slower version for you. I'll think about it. But first we're just gonna look at the piece, size it up, and then I'll turn the camera around and we will do some play along, and I'll do a little demonstration on some spots. So first, just take notice that we have in the key B flat. Okay, so we're gonna have flat ones and flat fingerings, natural twos. We don't really have any flat fours, so that's good. But we do have low ones and low twos. So usually when that's the case, make sure that your third finger, like this note, is good and high. We do have a flat four here, this B flat. And you have a low one right here. It's natural, okay? So just keeping in mind the key, with this key, maybe like this B flat right here, I'm going to write flat on it. Just a little reminder for myself that, oh, okay, that's flat. Any note that may catch you because of the key, just feel free to write that in for yourself. And hopefully you can see my markings. So I would suggest to pause this, get your music, get a pencil, and write in anything in here that you see into your music, and it will help you a ton. So I put what markings that I felt were important as I was playing through. I can also see in regards to the key, so for example, this is F, it's F natural. I might be tempted to play an F sharp because we like F sharp, so I'm gonna write F natural. Here's another one, let's write it in there. Okay, so write in any note that catches you, especially if it catches you more than once or twice. If you come across a note and you always play it in the wrong key, you make it sharp when it should be natural. Don't try to remember that. Just write it in and you won't make that mistake again. And it'll be fixed, okay? We think we're gonna remember, but with all the notes that you guys have to play in one concert, it's really impossible. So just write those things in. Don't hesitate. Always practice with a pencil and be in rehearsal with a pencil. Okay, so here we go. That's your pencil lesson lecture for the day. What else? Starting up here, we have these doubles, this really cool sort of intro going on. It does kind of bounce. The tempo that he has written in is 140, which is really fast. And it's a spiccato-y bounce, but it's very, very, very close to the string. You could probably do it on the string, and if you do get up to this tempo, you might feel your bow wanting to come off the string a little bit, so long as you're in the bouncing point of the bow. Let's see if I can get that in the shot. Okay, if your frog is here, the bouncing point is about right here. So it's a little bit above the frog. It's not all the way to the middle of the bow. It's the lower middle area, okay? Is where your bouncing point is. And it's a little different on different bows sometimes, but generally it's right about there, okay? So be in that part of the bow, even if you're not bouncing, even if you're not sure about the bounce, be in that part of the bow. And then hopefully as you go faster and faster, you may feel that your bow will start to sort of lift on its own, okay? But if you're in the wrong part of the bow, it will not happen. So make sure you practice in the bouncing point at all times right here. So let's write that in here. Bouncing point. Okay, good. The other thing I have written here is that you have this flat four and then you have F natural, B flat, and both of those are low ones, okay? And I have this little marking here trying to tell you to put the one on both strings and leave it there. So let's see if I can demonstrate that without moving the camera. This should be interesting. Okay, so, oh, that might work. Let's see. So I have my one on F natural and B flat together. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use the four. I'm basically just gonna lift the four and drop it. And you get Okay, so that's slow, and oh my goodness. Trying to fit everything in the camera shot. Look at what happened. Okay. I'm still learning those things. Anyway, so make sure I'm still in shot. We are. Okay, so that's discussing that, and then the staccato. We've talked about the bouncing point and the speed. You know, we've got some accidentals written in. Okay, then we get over to here, and we start to get this cool little melody, which is the main melody of the piece. Comes back again and again, and you have these. Well, they're long notes that are slurred with a decoration that's slurred into it, and it happens all over the piece, right? So here's another one, here's another one. These are 16th notes, which at this speed is very quick, okay? But it's not as quick as these. The triplet that's fit into that 8th note is even faster. So they are, though, however, in the same part of the beat a lot of times. So for example, 1, 2, and a 3, 4. 1, 2, and a 3, 4. Something like that. That's at a slow tempo. 1, 2, and a 3, 4. 1, 2, and a 3, 4. So this is very similar. He's just saying put a little bit of space between the two, but this lands in the same place that one did. 1, 2, and triplet 3, 4. 1, 2, triplet 3, 4. Same thing here. This is the same counting as this one. You just have a little bit of space. That note is just cut off a little earlier, so you have a little space between here and here. Okay, 1, 2, and a 3, 4. Okay. This one caught me off guard a little bit, because all of these, you have the longer note is 1, 2, and then one more. So it ends up being 3 whole beats. Same thing here, that makes 3. So it would be 1, 2, and a 1, 2, 3. Bum, 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 bum. 1, 2, and a 3, 4, 1. You could either count 3, 4, 1 if you like, or you can count 1, 2, 3. That's really up to you, whatever makes more sense to you. Just count something. Count to 3 somehow, whatever way works for you. It does move really fast, so hopefully you'll start to feel it. But then when we come to this one is suddenly only 2 beats. And I kept getting tripped up and sort of late to this entrance when I was doing it with a metronome. And now I realize why. It's because this one is only 2 beats. So let's mark that. I'm going to write that that's up bow, because it is. And then right here, I'm going to just put 2 beat marks. So 1, 2, just something to indicate to me that I need to get over here a little faster than the way all of these others felt. Oh, my paper just keeps wanting to fall down. I may have to get a clip. Hopefully we'll get through it. Okay, so that's something. Well, you'll hear it when I play it for you. Okay, then we're back to this. This is feeling very much like this, but a lower octave. Right here, I did write an up bow here, and I have some question marks here because it does not say up bow. But if you don't do something, he has up bow marked here and it won't be up bow. This works out really well, what I've written in, but you should check that. Just check and see what your section's doing. If your teacher has indicated what she wants right there, then write that in. This is just a possible suggestion, but the way it's written, something is off with the bowing right here. I'm sure it's just an editing thing, or maybe he meant for this to be up and that to be up, but it felt really awkward to me. So, you know, check with the teacher on that. All right. Then we get back to the melody upper octave, more of the same thing. This little dealio right here, let's see, let me make a mark. So we have C sharp. This is hard to read a little bit. C sharp, C natural, C sharp, C natural, C sharp. So it's not possible to do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 back and forth. That'll just be a cluster of mess and not clear. So I know for those of you that are my students, you can totally do this. If you haven't tried this before and you're not my student, do give it a try. So you're going to plant that sharp 2 where we know it goes. We like C sharp. That's easy for us. It's like our home base. And you're going to tuck your 1 right behind it, and you're not going to lift it up. And basically the 2 is the only one that's going to lift and drop just for that moment. And then once you're done with that, you're going to let that 1 go. We're not going to hold it there any longer, but do hold your 1 until at least there. Okay, hopefully you can see that. Oh, maybe not. Do hold your 1 on this note until there, and then you can release it. Okay, and then here, honestly, typically I would do a 4, but at the speed, it kind of works well with an open. Okay, so write that in, give it a try. Now, it sort of goes on in this way. What else is there? Let's go on to the second page. I'm going to flip it. This is the second page. So coming up here, this was a little funny for me. Let me pull back the first page, actually. Why does it not want to stand up? That's so weird. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to show you right here. So at the bottom of the page, you get a C sharp, okay? It's pretty clear. That's easy. That's fine. But then at the top of the next page, immediately following that, you get another C, and it doesn't say anything, which would tell me that it's natural again, which is part of the key. So that was a little confusing to me. So I went ahead and wrote in natural. And then over here, you get F sharp, which makes it good for the whole measure. So I wrote in sharp for those couple of sharps afterwards, because that's not part of the key, right? So I need a reminder. And then over here, we get an F again, but there's no sharp written on it. So I wrote natural and natural on this C just to remind me, okay, it's not. So he's given a few accidentals in there. We want to mark that and make it clear. And it does sound a little funny also, just with the key. It's an interesting grouping of notes with the sharp and then make it natural and make it sharp and make it natural. So I needed to write that in to get it straight. And the bowing is a little bit interesting too. So at the speed it works, and it sort of gives it that Bolero flair. So give it a try, even though it's a little bit different than your straightforward kind of bowing. I put a question mark there because it sounded a little interesting to me, but the more I play it, I think that it's correct the way I wrote it. Now, I wrote a flat here because that caught me. I kind of wanted to play that not flat. Moving on. This figure, it happens a few times. This is almost a whole note. It's almost 4 full beats right here. It's 1/8 smaller, and you get 2 little ticas right there. So you're going to count to 4 on this note, and then right after 4, you're going to play those and a. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Now moving on. Gotta watch the bowing here. You gotta double down. It's a cool little part though. I added the bowing on these ties just a little bit, just to help me keep it straight. I marked a natural there because that's it. This felt a little funny to me. You play a long note here, then you have a little rest. I felt like I wanted to pick my bow up, but it's actually better if you stay in the upper half of the bow. So on this first note, you're going to play a long down bow. Well, it's not that long, but it's going to get you to the upper part of the bow. Let's see if I can show you that. We're going to go to the upper part of the bow. And you're going to just freeze for a split second or an 1/8 rest. And then you're going to go on, and then you have a long up bow. Okay, so you have a long down bow followed by a long up bow. And these 2 little notes will just be in the top part of the bow. So I'll try to show you that. When I turn the camera around, here you've got a bow lift because this is down bow, and then it's down. So you have a little space right there, and you're going to lift your bow quick and do this deal, okay, which is very much like that one. Okay, moving on. Okay, this funny thing, you have 3 and sharp 2 and 1. Let's see if I can demonstrate that. Okay. So if you have your regular 1, 2, sharp 2, 3 on the A string, what you're going to have is 3, 2, F natural. You don't even have to lift these 2 fingers up. So go for these 2 fingers first. We're comfortable finding those first 2 notes right there and measure 105, the D and C sharp, not a problem. And then those 2 fingers will help your 1 find its place on this F natural. And definitely mark that. It's not sharp, it's natural. The 2 cannot do both notes because they're different notes. One is a sharp 2 and one would be a natural 2, and it's too quick to move your 2 over. So, and it's slurred. So you can't just rock your 2 over. It won't work because it's over here. So you have 3, 2, 1, something like that. I'm not singing the correct pitch exactly, but da-da-dum, okay? And then you can release that after that. So it's just for 1 split second. You have a rest that follows and you release it, okay? And then moving on, I'll put my instrument down for a second. It's kind of more of the same, nothing too crazy there. It's just getting the speed, I think, after that. What do I see on this page for you? You know, just writing in some more accidentals. There's definitely repeating ideas and figures, so you'll get used to it, hopefully. I did put here that you may want to shift to 3rd position right here and play all these long notes in 3rd position and then come back down here. And if you don't know me, a dash on a number means to shift. If it's just a number, it's just a number to help you in that position. So you would shift here to your 2nd finger in 3rd position on this note. And then these are numbers just to help you out. And then on this one, it's a shift again. So you're going to shift back down to 1st position. There's other options you could do, but this is probably the simplest to go ahead and come down right there. Okay. Another question on the bow. This doesn't say it. All it said was this is down bow. And if you don't put an up bow right here, then you end up having down, down, which I don't know that that's what was intended. It could just be a printing error. So it would make a lot of sense to make this up bow just like this one. This one is up and then up on that. I think that's what's intended, but there's a question mark here, meaning you should definitely check with your teacher or your section leader and see what they're doing and mark in whatever it is that they are doing, okay? This for sure is clear that it's down bow on this beat. And then this is all rhythmic. Let's see. I marked some flats in here because it's a little, because why not? It'll help. You should use a 4th finger on this one note. Other than that, you can use opens on the open strings, okay? This one is simply to help your bow stay on 1 string, which will help if you're bouncing and going fast, okay? And you're gonna have to do a tiny bow lift right here. Okay, the last thing I'm gonna talk about before I play it for you is, let me go back to page 1 quickly. Okay, page 1. I could really do it anywhere because it's all over the entire piece. And then I'm gonna play it to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So, every time I have one of these figures where you have that slurred, tied, decorated long note, da-da-da, you want to just ever so slightly stop the note, stop your bow a little bit here and reset your bow to begin. So hopefully when I do it slowly, you can hear me do it. I'll try to exaggerate it a little bit and you can hear it, but when you're going faster, you can't hear it at all. What you hear is clarity on this. So whenever we have tied things, and they're all over the place, you have this sort of as a similar feel, something like this, that's tied note. A lot of us tend to hold on to it just a little too long and then we're late to the next thing. And that becomes a problem in an orchestra where everybody just can't start together. So it's more important that we start that second beat together than ending this completely long. So it's very, very slight, very subtle. You won't even notice it. You want to taper the end of the note, but stop just a smidge and move on to this. So I'll try to demonstrate that for you. Same thing here. Where else? It's all over the place. Here, you would stop just a smidge and then start there. Here, just stop slightly and start there. Okay, so let's see if I can demonstrate that for you. So I'm going to flip the camera around. Let's see. Whoop. And I can't, well, maybe I can. I was gonna say, I wasn't gonna do 3 across, but maybe I can. Sure, why not? Unless they fly away. Ah. I am doing this video quick, guys, because my kiddo was sick. So I apologize that I would have edited this kind of stuff out, but you guys need the video now, so you getting it now. We're gonna just not edit because that makes it take longer. Okay. Now, how do I get me in the shot? My lighting is not awesome right now. I'm in what we call the man room in the basement where there's no windows because my son's asleep and this is the quietest, furthest place away from him that won't wake him up. Okay. So let me see if I can demonstrate that for you guys, okay? Make sure I'm in the shot. Yeah. Okay, so 1, 2. Okay? So I'm really exaggerating it so that you can hear it. I'm looking at the wrong place. So that you can hear it. Okay, same thing here. Okay, and it sounds sort of like you can hear it, but when you go faster, you can't hear it. So here's slow. 1, 2. Okay, now when you go faster, okay, so it sort of just works out to get you right on the beat, right when you need to be. So keep that in mind, and if you struggle with that, let me know. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna play it. So I am looking at the wrong place. Over here. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna play it. I will do a slow-ish tempo, and then I'll do the full tempo for you. Okay, so make a note what time it is on the video so that you can rewind it to this point if you would like to. Just do play along, okay? And here goes. I think I'm gonna do here's 110, okay? So this is a medium tempo. And here we go. All right. Now, I can't really bounce those bouncing things at this speed. It won't really bounce. So I'll just be on the right part of the bow, and I'll be on the string. Okay? 1, 2, ready, go. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops, let me try that again. Ready? And. One, two, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Let me start right there at 115. Ready, go. I'm going to play that from 115 for you again because I goofed that up a little bit. So 115, we'll start that one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay, good. Video's a little long, but we're going to now do it fast. Okay, so here's 140. So that was 110. You should practice 110. Make sure you can get it to 110. And then try it at 115. And then 120. And keep doing it with your metronome. You will not get it without the metronome. This is very rhythmic piece. Without the metronome, there is no telling if you're really getting things on time. So, and I know that playing with this is challenging, especially with a piece like this, but the more you do it, the more it becomes just a part of you. I mean, it should be, the beat of the piece is the heartbeat of the piece. And if you're not feeling the beat with the notes, that's usually why we get lost and or why we lose track of the metronome and get frustrated, okay? But the more you force yourself to listen to that beat while you practice, it becomes like breathing while you play. It just is part of it. And eventually, you know, when I listen to the metronome, it's not distracting to me. It's just part, it's like I'm breathing. So, you know, but you only get that by forcing yourself to work with the metronome and forcing yourself to figure out, where am I getting away from the metronome? Why am I getting away from it? And slowing it down enough and paying attention and go, oh, I'm not listening to it right there. Or because it's so busy that I get distracted. Or, oh, I'm holding a note too long or slowing down in this passage. which is why I'm getting away from the beat. And then you have to work on getting that passage on the beat, okay? And so that's what the metronome work is for. But if you can play it with the metronome on the beat, you'll be good in class, okay? And I can't tell you what a terrible feeling it is to practice for weeks on a piece and then discover when you get into class, when the heat is on and everybody's looking and your teacher's looking down at you and you are playing it completely wrong. I've done it. I have been there where I've been completely wrong and I didn't even know it, and I practiced it that way for weeks and don't know till you get in class and then look like I hadn't practiced a thing because I couldn't keep up. And then I went home and pulled out my metronome and had to redo all of my practice because it was all different. And that taught me to always practice from the beginning with the metronome. It will save you time in the end, and you'll get better at it really quickly if you are just steadfast about playing with that metronome, okay? So love it, become friends with it. Here we go. Always my metronome lecture. Rhythm is where it is at. Okay, here we go. 140. Okay, I may or may not count out loud at this speed. Hopefully I don't get too tangled. I may. Okay. I'll try to do the bounce for you. So, to get with that metronome. Okay, so that's me playing only eighth notes. Then I'll try 16th. 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's starting to bounce just a smidge, like not even really coming off the string, just starting to tremble a bit so that you get a little separation in the note. Okay, that's tricky, but you got to get your bow just going and try to hear this underneath it. Okay, all right, now I'm going to do the play through. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh! Let me do that again from 92. 1, 2, ready, play. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that 115, I don't know why it keeps tricking me up. 115. 1, 2, ready, and. Let me take it from 137, actually 136. I goofed that up on you guys. 136, it's an up bow. 1, 2, ready, and 1, 2, 3. 4. Okay. So, it wasn't perfect, but I had to put this together quick for you guys. I learned this really quick for you. So, I can drill it myself and work on it, and you guys all work on it. I will say, for a second violin part, it's pretty awesome. You guys have a melody a lot. You have a lot of fun things. You're not just sitting in the background the whole time. So, enjoy that you're getting to really play, you know, the meat of it. So that's really cool. Have fun. Hope it's a good session with Mr. Wood. Take care. Bye-bye.